This is the HP DC7700 small form factor desktop computer that I bought used for $20 plus, like, I think it was $15 shipping, so we'll just say it was $35 for the computer itself. I bought it back in the beginning of August 2016, this year. It didn't have a hard drive in it. It ran, everything else was fine. I put a hard drive in it, a 1 terabyte hard drive I had laying around. I also installed, about a week ago, a second hard drive, a 400 gigabyte hard drive. It has 2 spots to put hard drives. There's one, the 1 terabyte one is under the power supply, and actually there's a spot under there, directly under the power supply. And there's also a cutout in front of the fan for the power supply, so it sucks cool air through past the drive and out through the back. The other drive here is just kind of there, but that's a spot to put a drive. This actually feel a little bit of heat from the drive right there. This computer runs a little on the warm side. Honestly, it's pretty warm in here right now. Actually, it's 73 degrees and I'm overheated. But it's cold outside, so I can't put the air conditioning on. It's too cold to run it. So I have the little window fan I made running, and that'll be okay. When I'm done with the video, I'm going to put this fan back on, but until then, I don't want to hear wind noise and stuff in the video. But my temperatures are pretty good on this thing. This is not my main computer. This is a second computer in my room. Here we go. Fan speeds are all slow. I believe I believe 1 is the power supply fan, but I'm not sure. No, actually, I think 1 is the processor fan, 2 is the 3 is the power supply fan, 4 is the front fan. Now, the way the airflow in this thing works is it sucks cool air in the front here. There's a 92 millimeter fan that sucks cool air in, and then there's an air duct that goes over the processor heatsink, and on the back of the processor heatsink there's a smaller 70 millimeter fan pulling air through it as well. You'll see that in the other part of this video I made, the inside of the computer. And then there is the power supply fan, which is an 80 millimeter fan, just pulls air out the back. I put a graphics card in it because the onboard graphics were okay, but they weren't that great at all. I've seen worse, but I've also had way better. So I just installed a new card that I bought used with less than 50 hours of use on it, and it was pretty cheap. All in all, this computer cost me about $115 with all the upgrades. I upgraded the RAM. The DVD drive or optical drive works fine. However, the little belt in there is kind of shitty, so I'm going to replace that at some point, but I have it working for now. Yeah, here's the temps. I'm not sure half of these are. I believe temp 2 is the GPU. I don't know. I think the GPU, I think that's actually the onboard GPU. I think temp 2 is the graphics card, and that makes sense. Now, I don't get a fan reading from the graphics card because it's only a 2-pin fan. However, it does show up on the PWM controller, which is interesting. The core runs pretty cool. The heatsink on the processor barely gets warm at all. Sorry. Anyway, the processor the heatsink barely gets warm. If I go into the BIOS, I can turn the fans up and stuff, and it's pretty annoying, but I have them set to normal. The smart fan controller thing is going. I turned off the standby after a certain amount of time, but that's just randomly. That's not important. It's got an Intel Core 2 Duo 6400 running at 2.13 gigahertz. I think I put 4 gig RAM in it. It had 2 in it. Now, I was gonna put 8 gig, which is the maximum that I can put in this computer, but I'm running Windows 7 32-bit, and it will only take 4 gig on 32-bit. So that's okay. It's actually fine though. when I reinstall Windows, I'll put 64-bit on it next time I have to do it during Service Pack 1. This thing was like a 2.9, and I got up to a 3 point something with the graphics card, with the new graphics card, and then I put the new RAM in, did some other stuff. I got up to a 5.4, which is actually pretty good. Okay, anyway. 4 gig. Anyway, pretty good. I'll play a YouTube video in a minute. I'm just gonna search something up. I wanna leave, I'm just curious, I wanna leave that open. I'm gonna go to YouTube, and we're gonna watch a video. It might take a second. Yeah, now I got the processor up to 120 degrees. It does, idle, it stays at about 100. But it goes up. What do I want to do here? We're just gonna go into my videos. We're gonna watch one of my videos because, just because. I'm just gonna find the video I want to find. Where did it go? There it is. Oh, I got a notification. Let me go full screen. Ow. I go full screen this thing. Damn it. There you go. It runs pretty well. You can see it's nice and smooth. Video is smooth. We'll probably put it on HD, but I don't know how good that's gonna work out. Never mind. Forgot about that. Yeah, you can see it works. 122 degrees is the processor temperature, which is not bad at all. It's gone down, which is not bad at all. You see it plays YouTube videos pretty well. Now you can see the graphics card temps have gone up a little bit. Everything else in the processor went up, but it's coming back down. You'll see in the next part of this video that the inside of this computer is really overbuilt, in my opinion. It's designed very well, and it's got good cooling system, and all the parts in it are high quality. I believe the motherboard is manufactured by Foxconn. All the fans in it are Delta or Foxconn, except for the one on the graphics card, because that's, I think, the Power Logic, but I've never had a problem with them either. The drives, well, I can't say anything about the drives because I put them in. I believe the optical drive is a light-on. I believe the power supply is manufactured by Delta. That's usually who manufactures for HP. Yeah, it's not bad at all. It's not in the greatest shape. It might not be the best thing in the world, but hey, it runs. Got 2 USB 2.0 ports in the front, audio ports. It's got, I think, 6 more in the back. Got all kinds of ports in the back. And like I said, this computer does run a little on the warm side, in my opinion. I'm gonna put my hand behind the power supply fan. Oh, that's pretty warm. Yeah, so not too bad. Now, the other part of this video I shot about a week ago, so I'm gonna show it to you. It might not make any sense, but hey, why not? Let's go for it. This is the inside of the computer. This is like I said, an HP DC7700 or something like that. I think it's a DC7700. Small form factor. Yep, DC7700. Yeah. I want to show some of the upgrades they did. Has a 1 terabyte Seagate drive right there. We put a 400 gigabyte Hitachi Desk Star, also known as a Death Star. But this drive does work in there. See, here's the little graphics card I put in. It's an AMD FirePro V3900. Got a red fan on it, which makes it pretty. And it also has a little warning about touching it when it's hot. point. If it would focus, that would be really nice. Whatever. Here's the cooling system. There's a 92mm intake fan in the front, which pulls air over in through the front grill, over this duct, and blows it onto the heat sink. And then there's also a 70mm fan on the back here, which sucks air through the heat sink. It's a heat pipe cooler. It's pretty dusty. I ain't cleaning it right now. There's also a dust bunny living down there, and a few in the fan. There's also a little side duct which goes past a couple capacitors and some inductors. Power supply hinges up for easy access to the drive and also easy removal of the power supply. Not necessarily easy. Oh, this is a good time. Uh-oh. Out a little bit, yeah. Whatever, it didn't quite work. And there's the power supply. There's the actual power supply itself. And then in the back there is an 80mm fan, which pulls air through the power supply and also does pull some air past the hard drive. There's the hard drive. I wrote it was installed on August 14th, 2016, and holy crap, this is not going to go back in now. Wow. I don't want to take this in. I want to go back in. Go home. Go on. Go in. There we go. I'll pull it out so you can see the back. Here's the back. If I can attempt to do this. There's the wireless card. USB things. Power supply fan. Power plug, all that. The 240 watt power supply. I'm just gonna slide this back together. Hold on.
If your heart lays where